Section 4, Linux file system and boot process. So in this section we will learn about the Linux file system and boot process. Boot process is nothing but how your Linux operating system boots or how it starts up. So firstly, Linux file system. So kernel maintains a file and directory structure. So in order to store your files and directories on a disk, it maintains a file structure which is called a file system. It's a systematic representation of your directories and files in a tree hierarchy. So every file and directory is given as a unique number called the inode. Every file or a directory in a file system is given a unique number. It's called the inode. Slash is called the root of the file system. Under slash root directory there exists other directories and files. So we will look into that. Okay, storage media. So the hard disk which is attached to a computer which runs Linux operating system is formatted into a Linux file system. There are various types of file systems which are ext3, xfs, ext4 which is the successor of ext3, and jfs which is journaling file system. In almost all of the distributions, usually ext3 and ext4 file systems are used as default. So a recent version of CentOS uses XFS as default. So kernel handles the disk IO to a user, which means that any file operations like writing to a file, reading a file, or appending a file is handled to a user. Storage media supported are SCSI disks, USB disks, etc. So SCSI disks are SCSI disk is a type of a bus interface integrated within the motherboard of your computer system, and USB are externally connected devices which are called universal serial bus disks.